Today's lesson is Module 4, Lesson 2, Relationship of Multiplication and Division. This is kind of like the lesson yesterday where we're going to be focusing on multiplication and division instead of addition and subtraction. Just a disclaimer, if you were not in class yesterday, please take note of this. We did do, let's see, this is yesterday's lesson. We did do some setups, so you are going to need to allow 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pages blank before you go to the next line, the next page. So skip 5 pages if you were absent yesterday, so that you can fill that in later. If you were not absent and you did everything for lesson 4.1 in class, then you're fine. We'll just continue on. So we're going to do a review, and we're going to draw a tape diagram to represent the following. So, we're going to draw a tape diagram to represent 3 plus 5 minus 5 equals 3. So we're going to start with the number we're given, which is 3. So I'm going to draw 3 squares. Now remember, if the squares equal the same size, then they equal the same value. And remember, value is just a fancy word for numbers. So since these are the same, we know each square represents 1. So I have a total of 3 right here. Now we're going to add 5 to our first rectangle. So I'm going to draw 3, the first 3 that I had, and you're going to draw 5 more the same size. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have 3 here plus 5 here equals 8. And then I'm going to take away 5 again, so I'm going to take all of these off and then draw what I'm left with, which is the initial 3 squares. Now, if I write the expression for this problem, remember, expression means no answer. I don't want the answer if I ask for the expression. So the expression for this problem would be 3 plus 5 minus 5. Okay? Now for today's lesson, here's your example for today's lesson. We are going to show how to draw 4 divided by 2 times 2 equals 4. But this sign right here can get pretty difficult because now we're using variables. So the x multiplication sign can get confusing when we use numbers. So another way to write this would be 4 divided by 2 and then a dot 2. This dot sign means multiply. So from now on, when you're writing a multiplication problem, you have to write the dot as your multiplication sign because it'll get confusing when we start adding in letters or variables. So let me show you how to draw the picture. We're going to start with what we're given, which is 4. And every square is going to be the same size to make it the same value.
At recess, need to come in. It is raining enough that we need to come in. I don't want to get
Then, in the next step,
so come on in. Your teachers will meet you at the classroom once again.
You're going to break it down into 2.
We'll see how this goes for our primary grades recess. Hopefully it passes over.
We'll let him stop.
But I'll let you know if we're still rainy day after this, but it's coming down enough that we need to come in. Thank you very much, and bye-bye.
This is showing divided by 2. But if you multiply this piece back by 2, you end up with the 4 initial squares. Okay? If you had a multiplication problem, 4 times 2 divided by 2, you would start with the 4, times by 2, so you would draw 4 boxes 2 times connected. And that equals 8. And then, to break it, divide it back down into 2, you make 2 groups, and the answer comes from how many is in one group, which is 4. Sorry for the interruption of Mr. Imperatus. We all love to hear him. But if you have any questions, make note of it and we'll talk about it tomorrow in class. Have a good night.